Okay.
Welcome to another episode of the Caribbean Edge. We are so excited to have our little ones join us today on Story Time on the Caribbean Edge Kids. We have Sarai, who is 7 years old, and Aggie, who is 6 years old. So I'm going to have the kids introduce themselves, and we have the fabulous Aunty Sophie, our storyteller as well. So welcome. If you're tuning in, remember to share this episode of Story Time. So let's start with Sarai. Sarai, tell us about yourself. Welcome.
So I am 7 and I love to color and draw. And I drew a house. And sometimes I like to play video games with my cousins and my friends. It makes me so happy. I like to play Roblox and sometimes Among Us. It's pretty fun because I can chat with my friends and I can talk to them on I forgot what it's called, but I can talk to them on their phone number. And it's pretty cool having friends and cousins.
So how are you doing during COVID-19?
I'm doing great.
Oh.
TV and color sometimes when I get bored.
Okay. And are you ready for Christmas?
I am so excited for Christmas.
So
So excited to get my presents. I've been waiting for like months or years. I don't know.
Well, welcome. We can't wait to hear you read. So, Aggie, let's switch over to you. Tell us about you.
My name is Agyenim. I'm 6 years old, and thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. And we see your beautiful Christmas tree. Tell us about that.
Me and my auntie and my sister, we decorated it with ornaments, and we also put the angel up on top. When it's nighttime, we plug it in so it looks lighter, so we put the ornaments on top. First we got the tree, then we put the ornaments on top with our holiday stuff, and then we put some candy canes on top and wrapped it up, and we put some snow on it because it doesn't snow in Florida. And last we put the angel on top.
Yes, no snow in Florida for sure, but we do enjoy our Florida weather. So how are you doing with COVID-19? And tell us about your name. Your name is so unique.
My name is a great one from God. And COVID-19 is a little bit of a struggle, but I always get through it with my family and my loved ones.
Oh, so amazing. Thank you for that. And what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a doctor.
Awesome. And Sarai, I forgot to ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an artist and a hairstylist.
Beautiful. Well, welcome both. Aunty Sophie, always a pleasure. How is Sunday going?
Thanks for having me, Auntie Dawn, and it's a pleasure for me to be here. And whenever I meet these new stars, I get all so mushy when I listen to how brilliant they are. They give me so much hope and encouragement. I feel that there is going to be the light at the end of the tunnel. They're giving me this encouragement about not feeling too bad about COVID. They're making do, Auntie Dawn. They're making do.
They
So,
do.
oh, it's a little struggle, but I get through it with my family. Thank you both for sharing. It's a pleasure for me to be here. And I'm looking forward to hearing your stories, okay?
Excuse me, I don't want to interrupt you guys, but mostly I want to be an artist because I love all day. I love to color and draw because it's my favorite thing to do when I'm bored. And I draw mostly houses because that's the only thing I can draw. But I try drawing stuff because one day I can be an artist, and I am going to because that's my dream.
Absolutely.
How inspirational. You are both inspirational, and we certainly appreciate that. And you will have to come back and show us your artwork as well and how you're progressing. All right. So Sarai, why don't you start us off with your book? What are you reading for the children today?
Okay, I'm reading Breathing is My Superpower by Alicia Ortega. This is going to be interesting. Shut up. Okay. So, this book is dedicated to adults and little ones, to all grandparents, daughters, and sons. From the youngest to the oldest sisters this book is dedicated to all fathers and mothers, from the youngest to the oldest sisters and brothers. This book is dedicated to all kids, clumsy or naughty, those sleepy, shy, curious, and those on a potty. To all triplets and quadruplets too. In other words, this book is dedicated to you. Okay, so my name is Sophia, and this is my unicorn B. She is 7 years old too, and special like me. I love fairies and magical creatures and stories. I'm usually happy, but sometimes I have worries. I'm afraid to sleep with the lights off at night because some dreams have monsters with teeth sharp and white. I feel upset when other kids don't play with me. On those days, I am as angry can be. I asked my mom why I felt this, not once, but twice. She was understanding and had some good advice. When you are upset and you don't know what to do, try 5 breathing exercise. It is sure to help you. Stretch one of your hands out like a big shining star and trace your fingers like you're driving a touring car. Slide up each finger while breathing in through your nose. Fill the air. Fill your body from head to your toes. Slide down the other side with the finger of your other hand. Breathe out through your mouth and you will soon feel calm. Understand? My mommy always knows best. She is so smart and wise. So I decided to try this fun breathing exercise. Then the next day at school, when the teacher called my name, I had to read my homework, but I felt fear and shame. I started deep breathing. One breathe in, one breathe out. Wow, this exercise works well. There is no doubt. My friend didn't want to play with me that day at school, so I took 5 slow deep breaths and felt calm and cool. When I got home, my mom made me an egg to eat. I don't like eggs, so I started stamping my feet. Then I remembered that slow, deep breathing good. I stretched out my hand, breathed in and out, and then ate my food. I used to shout a lot, throw things and stamp my feet. Now I like eggs more than cookies or other sweets. with 5 breathing exercises when I am upset or sad. I slide over my fingers when I feel angry and mad. Last night when I put on my pajamas, soft and red, I used this exercise before going to bed. I stretch out with one hand just like a big shining star. One breathe in, one breathe out like I am driving a toy car. After breathing, I was no longer afraid of the dark. Instead of monsters, I dreamed of a fun aquarium park. I decided that stress would never ruin my day. With Mom's advice, I stayed calm and ready to play. Nothing can stop me, not a broken toy or a rain shower. I'll tell you a secret. Breathing is my superpower. You muted.
The end. Thank you. What a beautiful story. And why did you pick that book?
It's because I like it, and it also says breathing is my superpower. And I love to meditate with my mom because meditating is also good for you and your brain. It releases the stress, whether you're sad, mad, or angry.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. I am so happy that you're on the show today. You are sending such an important message to the children and to us adults.
I send this to everyone.
Everyone. Oh my gosh. We certainly need to remember that throughout life because as we become adults, we often forget it. So you are here to remind us of the importance of living stress-free.
I appreciate everybody that's watching your show, even though it's live or not finished. And all of you who's on here, which is Miss Dawn, Miss Sophia, and Agyenim. I don't know how to say his name.
And Angie, well, thank you. And we certainly appreciate you. We have so much more in store today. So we are going to switch over to Mr. Aggie, who is patiently waiting. And he will tell us what he's going to read for us and take it over. Aggie, all you.
Today I'm going to be reading The Best Show in Second Grade by Catherine Kenna, pictures by Abby Carter. Chef Antonia, page 1. Ollie wanted to be the best at something in second grade. He was not the best reader. He was not the best runner. He was not the best artist. Everyone else in room 75 seemed to shine. On Tuesday, Mr. Hopper said, I have a surprise for you. We will have a guest on Friday. Chef Antonia's coming. Chef Antonia? Asked Miguel. From the TV show? Asked Sam. The real one, asked Luna. The one and only, said Mr. Hopper. She's going to cook something special for us. Ollie could not believe his ears. He loved Chef Antonia. She threw food in the air. She set desserts on fire. Ollie watched her show every day. But she is famous, Nina said. Why is she coming to our class? Let's surprise Chef Antonia and cook something special for her. I don't know how to cook, moaned Sophie. It would be fun, said Mr. Hopper. Find something that everyone in your family likes to eat. We will share our family favorites with Chef Antonia on Friday. Ollie loved to mix and stir. He loved to sprinkle and mash. The treats he made for his family were tasty and beautiful. Ollie loved to cook more than anything in the world. But what was his family's favorite? He had only 3 days to find out. To Rosie. What is our family favorite? Ollie asked at supper that night. Favorite what? Asked his father. Food, said Ollie. I need to find a dish we all like. Ollie's mother licked her lips. I love Aunt Ida's bean surprise, she said. I hate beans, said Rosie. While they were doing the dishes, Ollie's father said, I love my cousin Charlie's 5-alarm chili. It's too red, said Rosie. At bedtime, Ollie asked, what about Grandma's double delight chocolate cake? It is yummy, said his mother. It is tasty, said his father. I like vanilla, said Rosie. The next morning, Rosie held her bowl of oatmeal in front of Ollie. It needs a face, she said. Ollie reached for the berries. One by one, he put them on Rosie's oatmeal. Soon, a blueberry face was smiling at his sister. Thanks, said Rosie. Ollie looked around the table. Do you all like oatmeal? He asked. Sure, said his mother. Sure, said his father. No, said Rosie. I only like your face. She picked off the berries and ate them one by one. We are a family, shouted Ollie, but we have no favorite. He dumped his oatmeal in the sink and stomped outside to the bus. Cupcakes and meatballs. On Thursday, Ollie's class pushed their desk into squares. They made red and white tablecloths, cardboard candles, and paper flowers. Great job, said Mr. Hopper. It looks like a restaurant in here. Now it is time to get to work. They opened their science books. What can you tell us about clams? Asked Mr. Hopper. They go into my grandma's soup, Miguel said proudly. Clam chowder is my family favorite. Ollie did not say anything. Next, they did math problems using measuring cups and spoons. We bake with these at home, said Luna. Cupcake sprinkled with stars are my family favorite. Ollie did not say anything. They tossed basketball at recess. Guess what I'm bringing for Chef Antonia? Asked Nina. What? Everyone asked. Meatballs! Nina smiled. I'm bringing homemade bread, said Sam. I'm bringing cherry pie, said Sophie. Does everyone in your family like pie? Asked Ollie. Yes, said Sophie. Pie is my family's favorite. By noon, Ollie felt too awful to eat. He made aliens out of his lunch. Are you all right, Ollie? Asked Nina. I'm fine, he said, but Ollie was not fine. Everyone in his class had a family favorite, everyone except Ollie. That night, it gets better and better. That night after supper, Ollie went to find his mother. She was reading a book. Mom, asked Ollie, what is your family favorite? I like macaroni, she said. Ollie went to find his father. He was taking a bath. Dad, Ollie yelled, what is your family favorite? Ollie's father answered, cheese! Ollie marched into Rosie's room. She was painting her doll's house. Rosie, asked Ollie, what is your favorite food? Macaroni and cheese, said Rosie, only if it has a face. Ollie dashed to the kitchen. He mixed and stirred. He sprinkled the mash. Soon a pan of macaroni and cheese was cooling on the counter. It looked so golden, said his mother. It looks so creamy, said his father. It was my idea, said Rosie. Someone else's sister. On Friday morning, family favorites filled room 75. They looked and smelled wonderful. Suddenly, Ollie worried that his macaroni and cheese was too sweet for Chef Antonia. He put the pan down without taking off its cover. There was a noise in the hallway. A huge cart rumbled through the door. Bowls wobbled and spoon rattles. Chef Antonia was in room 75. Chef Antonia looked at each family favorite. Lovely, lovely, she said. Ollie did not say anything. He stood back and watched. When Chef Antonia picked up his pan, she pulled off the cover and gasped. Look at this, she exclaimed. It is macaroni and cheese with a face. Everyone started to laugh. Whose family favorite is this? Asked Chef Antonia. Mine, Ollie said quietly. His cheeks turned red. He went to hide. Chef Antonia held up Ollie's pants. Look at those colors, she said. Look at that smile. This dish was made by a chef. Everyone clapped and cheered. When Chef Antonia was little, she liked feasting on her food too, said Mr. Hopper, eyes open wide. How do you know? He asked. Miss Hopper smiled. I know because Chef Antonia is my little sister, he said. Now let's cook something special. Ollie put on an apron and stood beside Chef Antonia. It did not matter what they made, he was ready to help. Ollie loved to cook more than anything else in the world. He was the best chef in second grade. The end.
I love it. I mean,
Read like that? That was amazing.
yes.
Thank you.
7 years old. So for all the viewers tuning in, this is what our kids are doing. They know.
Especially when he did the dad part. Oh no, the dad part. He's like acting, but not acting.
I know. I mean, and you want to be a doctor. All I could think about is how well you will interact with your patients by being able to transition and have fun and make it your own. You are amazing.
I also make soap and lip gloss. But
Little
soap,
Miss Entrepreneur there. So, Aggie.
And a chef.
Wow, and a chef. We have to stay connected because when you guys get older, you got to visit us and treat us and take care of us, all these entrepreneurs.
I'm just saying, you could be anything you put your mind into it.
Absolutely, absolutely. These are 6 and 7 year olds. We want to thank the viewers who are tuning in. I know your grandma is on and she's really proud of you, Aggie. So thank you. Aggie, tell us about the book and your voice transition in there. Tell us about that.
I like this book because it talks about how to cook and how different ways you can make stuff.
Awesome. And how did you know to transition your voice? Is that how you read naturally? Like,
yes, I have almost like 10,000 voices. I only have 10 voices now.
wow, amazing. Oh my gosh. Well, I thank you both for reading. You're both inspirational. Looks like Sarai's gonna say something. What's up, Sarai?
I think you offer inviting me to this Zoom meeting.
Okay, so thank you viewers for tuning in. You can see two amazing young children who are about to listen along with myself to the amazing Aunty Sophie as she gives us some culture and takes us back into our tradition and remind us of our Caribbean heritage, which both these kids have as well. So we'll get into that. Aunty Sophie.
I think Agyenim wanted to talk.
Yes, he had his hand up.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Aggie.
Since I was reading, so I do different, I act out different voices, whether it's adults, so adults would be an adult voice, but kids would be kids' voice. That's how I have 10 voices.
Beautiful. Okay, so you're going to show us some of your voices before we end the show today. Okay, so Aunty Sophie, take us away into story time.
Oh my goodness, Auntie Dawn, I could sit here and be entertained by these two all day. And I know we don't have a lot of time, but thank you, kids. So I am now going to read for you a story that I used to hear when I was a little kid like you. So this person, this creature is called Anansi. Now, we know you guys know Anansi or spider in America, but guess what? We had the Anansi character when I was a kid, and he was our mythical creature, and that we used him in our folk tales. Now, Anansi stories, they were originated in West Africa, and they were brought to Jamaica, which is the island I'm from, the country I'm from, and other parts of the New World by Ashanti slaves. They were handed down orally through generations. So they were told to little kids like you from generation to generation, okay? Now, the creature I'm going to talk to you about is Anansi, and he exists as a spider, as I said, or a man, or a combination of the two. Now, Anansi is no goody two shoes. He's greedy, he's lazy, and he's sometimes a trickster. So we're going to find out today what trick Anansi was up to. And this is my little flyer with the Anansi story. Can you see Anansi in the web there? All right, let's see now. Everybody buckle up and let's hear what happens to Anansi. Anansi and the Yam Hill by Michael Auld. Once in a before time, that means long, long time ago, there lived an old woman who had magical powers. Her name was Five. She was also very evil, that some people called her a witch. Five had her name, hated her name. No one knows why her parents named her the number 5. When she was a child, other children would make fun of her. Sometimes when she was within earshot, they would look out the corner of their eyes and giggle. Give me a 5. They would slap their hands with a quick handshake and burst out laughing. This taunting always made 5 very unhappy. When she grew up, 5 decided to put an end to the name calling. So she created a weird spell. Anyone who says 5 will drop dead, she said. Then she changed her mind. From this day on, anyone who says 5 will disappear. This spell immediately caused a problem in the country. No one could say that number again without disappearing. Children could no longer recite their 5 times table. People had to drop the word 5 from their vocabulary. And in 5's village, the unlucky number was no longer 13. Once a customer asked a merchant, "How much is that blue t-shirt?" "The shirt is 5. Suddenly there was a loud whoosh, and the merchant could finish his sentence because he was gone. He disappeared right in front of the dumbfounded customer's eyes. Now, there comes Mr. Spider, our Anansi. He was a sharp, witty man, crafty spider, and he lived in 5's village. He had heard about the witch's spell. Times were very hard at that time, and Nancy was not a farmer, and he had no food at all to eat. His wife and children were starving. Since Anansi was small and not a very good worker, he could only rely on his brain to get whatever he needed to survive. So he said to himself, "Things are very tough, boy. I must make this witch's spell work for me." So Anansi went to the road that led to the village's marketplace. He chose a spot on the side of the road where everyone on the way to the market would have to pass. There, near a large guangu tree, he decided to pile up 5 mounds of the rich brown soil. These mounds he called yam hills. In the top of each hill, he planted an African yellow yam. Then he drove a stake next to the yam on which its vine could grow, and Nancy carefully watered the yams until each one began to sprout. And Nancy made a web like a hammock. in the guango tree and he patiently waited for someone to come by. Early one morning, after each yam shoot had poked its head out of the mound, Anansi sat down next to his yam hills. Soon, Brother Dog came by on his way to the market. Dog balanced a banker basket of sweet-smelling fruits on his head as he walked down the road. "Good morning, Brother Dog," said Anansi in a sugary voice. "I know that you're busy, and I feel so stupid. I am not an educated man like you. Would you help me to count how many yam hills that I have planted here?" Anansi asked. "You should have gone to school to learn how to count," Brother Dog said grumpily as he walked away from Anansi towards the market. Anansi climbed up into the guango tree again and waited. The next person to come by was Brother Bull. He carried a large basket of fruits on his head. "Good day, Brother Bull," Anansi said. "Could you spare me 1 minute?" Anansi begged. "What can I do for you, Anansi?" Brother Bull asked. "I was a yicky and sickly child, so my parents did not send me to school. I never learned my ABCs. I planted all these yam hills. Can you help me to count them?" Anansi asked. "But of course, Anansi," Brother Bull replied. "You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Swoosh! As he said the number 5, Brother Bull disappeared into the thin air. The basket of sweet ripe fruits that he was carrying on his head fell to the ground. Anansi snatched up the basket of fruits and rushed home to eat them all. For a long time, Anansi did very well, tricking some passerbys into counting his yam hills. He grew fat from all the baskets of food he had gotten from all the people that he had tricked. So he tricked Brother Turtle, he tricked Brother Owl, he tricked Mongoose, he tricked Hare, he tricked Peeniewally, the firefly, and he even tricked Brother Scorpion. Mrs. Guineafowl was a nice young mother of newly hatched children. She could not say no to anyone. She and her husband shared the chore of selling their produce in the village. The day it was her turn to go to the market, she loaded up her handbasket and headed for the market. As she got closer to the yam hills, Anansi was nowhere in sight. Just as she was about to pass yam hill number 4, Anansi the spider lowered himself down from his perch in the guango tree. He called out in his sugary voice, "Good morning, Mrs. Guineafowl. Could you help me with a problem?" "Of course, Anansi," the polite Mrs. Guineafowl said. "I have these yam hills here," said Brother Anansi, "and I don't know how to count. Would you help me, please?" Anansi begged Mrs. Guineafowl, who had seen Anansi trick Brother Scorpion. Walked over to the last yam hill and she climbed on top of it. She said, "You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one I'm standing on." "What? What are you doing? That is not the way you count!" Anansi shouted angrily. "What do you mean, Anansi?" Mrs. Guineafowl asked. "I don't know any number called the one I'm standing on," Anansi said, getting upset. So Mrs. Guineafowl began again. "You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the one I'm standing on." "That is not what you're supposed to say!" Anansi shouted even more angrily. "Well, if you're so smart, Brother Anansi, What am I supposed to say? Mrs. Guinea Fowl asked. And Nancy shouted, you're supposed to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops! Suddenly, Nancy disappeared, leaving Miss Guinea Fowl with all the loot that he had gotten from tricking all his victims all day. And that is how Mrs. Guinea Fowl got Nancy. She tricked him back and got all of his spoils. So the moral of the story is, be careful who you try to trick. The trick may backfire on you. The end. Jack Mandora, me no choose none. That is how we end the story. Okay?
Great story.
Thank you.
How all the way to 5 you disappear.
There you go. And I know Audrey can count to 5 in Spanish. So thank you for listening. And that is how you have to be careful not to always try to be tricksters, okay?
Yes.
Because someone else is out there smarter than you are.
Nobody could be smarter than nobody, not even Jesus, not even God.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, everyone want to thank the viewers who have tuned in this far. We want to get into a little patois with our youngsters. We know Sarai, your family is from Haiti, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And Agyenim, you have parents from the United States and also from Jamaica.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so tell us what Jamaican words you know. Tell us something in patois.
Me and patois?
Yes, beautiful.
I do not know anything in patois.
Yes, you do. What did you tell us in the green room before we came live?
Wagwan.
Wagwan, brethren. See, you know it. So that simply means for the young ones that are not from Jamaica, that means Wagwan, brethren, which means what's going on, my friend. Okay, so Sarai, can you try saying that, Wagwan, brethren?
What?
Wagwan,
Wagwan.
brethren.
Brethren. Wagwan.
There you go, beautiful, Wagwan, brethren. So that's how we greet each other. What's going on?
Mm.
Another word that we say quite often is everything is irie. Everything's okay. Have you heard that one, Aggie? Everything irie?
What did you say?
Everything irie.
Everything Irie? What does that mean?
It means everything's okay. It's another way to greet someone too, because you can see someone and say irie. So can you say that one, Sarai? Irie?
Irie.
Irie. So if you ever go to Jamaica, you'll be able to start communicating by just saying Wagwan, brethren. And
Okay,
they'll
when I grow up, I think I'm going to learn Jamaica, but at this age, I don't think I'm going to learn it.
Yeah, but you never know when you get older what's going to happen, because it's a beautiful, beautiful country. And you may have the opportunity to travel, not just to Jamaica, but to the entire
I went to
Caribbean.
New York City once to see my cousins.
Awesome. So you go to New York, go see your cousin then. See, that's how a
I
Jamaican.
remember one of my cousins' names. His name is Jordan.
Jordan. Okay, so big shout out to Jordan then. So one of the things that we want to tell you guys in because we're living in such dangerous or serious times right now with COVID-19 is to wear your mask. So one thing we would say to you, una go put on a mask, or picnic go put on your mask. So a picnic is a child, and we say, picnic, go put on your mask. Or picnic, go wash your hands. So you guys have some practicing to do. Picnic, go wash your hands.
The only reason I know Spanish because I have a Spanish teacher.
Oh, that's beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Learn as much as you can at this age in life. And we're so proud of you both, 6 and 7-year-old amazing children. Auntie Sophie, what do you have to say about Sarai and Aggie today?
Well, I was so impressed with my 2 readers, with their animation and how engaged they are. Thank you all very much. I keep saying that to you. And thanks to the parents for reading to the children, because that is exactly how you create bond and build memories with them. So thank you to Miss Sarai. She's 7 years old. She's going to be our future artist and stylist, because she loves to draw and color. Keep on drawing, keep on coloring, and of course, keep on meditating and focusing. I love that. You have taught us so much today. And Auntie Dawn, before I get upset, I'm going to start breathing, because Sarai told me to do that. I was breathing in and out, and it really helps me to be calm, right? So thanks for that little... Thank you. And Arji, I can see you're going to be a doctor. And listen, Arji, you're going to be a great pediatrician, because as soon as you're going to give the injection, you're going to say, hold out your hand. This won't hurt a little bit. And you're going to give the injection with your changing of your voice and having fun with the kids. So thank you, Dr. Arji, with your long, long name. You are destined for great things, and you are indeed a gift from God. Okay. So
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Auntie Dawn, I was just as impressed as always with your kids. Thanks for selecting them. Thanks for choosing them to share their afternoon with me. And in Jamaica, we say, big up yourself. It means giving you all the kudos, okay? Big up yourself.
Great job. Well done.
Thank you all for inviting me to this Zoom meeting again.
You're so welcome.
Thank you too.
Thank you. Have an amazing week to all the viewers, and thank you both for being inspirational and for motivating us today. One love.
Walk good.
Walk good. Bye, guys.
Big up yourself.
Big up yourself.
Bye.
Bye.